This video was filmed and edited by Bartlett Production. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Iron Tiger Tattoos. I'm Brian Briggs, the owner, and today we're going to be working on a dog portrait mixed with a little bit of this watercolor style for some flowers around it. I feel like it's going to be a really good balance. So I'm looking forward to showing you guys two of my favorite styles combined. Here we go. Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. Just going to show you what I got going on here. This is kind of a pattern I made. What do you think about that?
I love it.
This is kind of like the size maybe I was thinking.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Sweet. Awesome. So I'm just going to try it up on your arm and see if it
Okay.
looks like. Yeah, that looks perfect. What do you think?
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's cool?
I'm so
Awesome.
excited.
Alright. I'm going to make a stencil out of this. I'll have you fill out some paperwork.
Okay, for sure.
So really like the watercolor stuff.
Oh yeah, I really like it. I think that's pretty cool. And I know that's like right up your alley.
Yeah, that's been like my main style lately. I really like it. And then I've been trying to do this like exact thing too, where I like mix the two things together, you know, like because I do a lot of realistic black and gray stuff too. So it's gonna be really fun. It's always a little harder sometimes when they're gone, because you know, if they're around, like I could have them bring the dog in and I take pictures myself and stuff like that. But that's what I did on the last one. Like this one it was a pretty good picture though. There was just this one little thing in the eye, and I wasn't sure if the eye was like funky looking on the dog, but then I realized there was just like a flash in the eye.
Gotcha.
And I was like, okay, so I made it look like it should. I think that's like the kind of what's going on now, is people are starting to come up with like their own style, you know? It's like a lot of people figured out, you know, maybe traditional, Japanese, something, you know, like watercolor, whatever it is, but then
But if you know what you like, what to do. So.
Yeah. You gotta enjoy what you're doing, otherwise, because it's art too, you know?
Exactly.
Like, you never see like a famous painting that somebody did just for money, you know what I mean? Like, they did it out of like love and joy for what they're doing. You get to just like hang your arm down, just let it fall. And, I'm just gonna go kind of centered with it. What was the dog's name?
Checkers.
Okay.
It makes no sense. I think like for the longest time, like my parents couldn't like think of a name, and then my mom randomly said it one day and kind of just stuck.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
My dog has like 100 names, you
Really?
know, like I always just make up new nicknames for it. Make sure they're getting like a really nice piece, you know, like I don't want to just half-ass anything and just do something for money. It doesn't make you feel good at the end of the day. It makes
You
you
gotta
feel
think like you're putting your name behind that too.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, there's room for a lot of different ways to do this in the industry, I guess. Where I'm from, there's like 30-something shops, and they're all different, you know, like each one attracts a different kind of clientele because of the way they do business. And there's one shop that's like in a house. The guy's a really good artist, and he just happens to live in an area where like the zoning allows him to have a business in his home. So he just set up a shop right up in his house, and he's killing it, you know. This client of mine came to get a portrait of her family dog that passed away last year, and I always take these kind of appointments really seriously because I know what it feels like to lose an animal, and I know that it's a really important tattoo. So the biggest factor with any animal portrait is always the reference that you're using. So it's always a little bit hard when someone's dog has already passed away, because they're kind of limited on the reference and the pictures available, so we use the best picture we could. How are these lines though? Not that bad? Not that painful?
Not really at all.
Cool. Usually this is more painful than the shading part.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, like I feel it, but it's not like uncomfortable or anything like that. So.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You're always gonna feel it, as long as it's not like unbearable the whole time. You know? There's always gonna be a few spots that hurt worse than others, though. But it's kind of like tattoos are cool like that. It's almost like getting over like a small amount of like anxiety, pain, stuff like that. Shit that we go through in life. You know, so it's like a small version of getting over like life's turmoils and tribulations and stuff. And we decided to frame the dog in with some kind of semi-realistic kind of watercolor blossoms. I really like the way that worked together. I really like the contrast between a color background. I'd really enjoy getting to do more of this kind of crossover style. That's kind of my vision for the future right now, and so I was really happy to be able to take on something like this, because I've been splitting my tattoo designs between super like more realistic animals and animal portraits, stuff like this, and then more like the watercolor realm. And I really think that those two would combine well into like a really cool style, because of the contrast and like the flow that one can create, but then the dramatic effect of the realism from the other spectrum of my mind. So I'm really interested in working on more stuff like this. I love tattooing because it's like that, it gets you kind of like allows you to get around the world and stuff, travel a little more.
Explore. You can always bring stuff with you,
Yeah, you could do this anywhere. It's pretty sweet about it. I've been using this Procreate app on my iPad for the last probably 9 or 10 months, maybe a little bit longer, and it's made my life a lot easier. I'm able to just do, like if it's a portrait like this, I'm able to make my stencil right over the top of the real picture, so it's not like I'm putting a tracing paper over it and having a light behind it. You have all these barriers and stuff. You could just make the lines right on another layer digitally, so it makes it a lot easier. Plus then from there, once you have the line work extracted from the piece so that you have the pattern ready, you can just size it up or down as much as or as little as you need and print it there, and then run it through a stencil machine, and makes it a lot easier. Everything used to have to be by hand, so I'm able to make adjustments really quickly now, and that's making my life a lot easier. So I'm really happy that I started using the iPad, and I definitely suggest it for any other tattoo artist that is looking to save themselves a little bit of time, energy, and resources. I've been using this Zion rotary pen for a while now. It's made by a guy named Gaston Siciliano, a tattoo artist who is very successful himself, and then he decided to devote himself to creating a machine for tattoo artists that is ended up in my eyes being the best machine that I've ever used. So I'm really happy to be living in a time in which tattoo technology is being developed and enhanced upon so rapidly, and I'm just thankful to be alive in this era right now, and it's not like a crime, or it's not something that is looked down upon. It seems like it's more and more being accepted as like a high form of art, and even some of the best like fine artists in the world have turned to tattooing rather than a career of painting or doing something else with art. So just tell people honestly and openly how I do my thing, like what I like most. And it seems to be like that if you do it that way, that the people that align with you, they find you, and they like the way you do things too, so they want something to do with it, like they'll contact you about it. It's cool. It's not like it used to be where like to get famous in tattooing or whatever, you had to get big in a magazine or something, That's how some of my friends are. They booked out like 2 years, with like just people that just want their work and stuff. And so that's like who I'm looking up to, like inspired by a lot of people like that. One friend, they had a dog. He was a police officer for a long time with the dog, so they had like so much time together, and then when they retired together, him and the dog. And he taught the dog all kinds of cool stuff though afterwards, like so that he could be super lazy. Like he taught the dog how to like retrieve the phone and the remote control for the TV or something like that, I think it was. What I do now is like I've been taking my mid-tones and doing those first, and then doing the lightest stuff, and then go back for a little bit of the darkest stuff. and just kind of do small parts of the darkest parts. It's really impressive, some of the stuff you see done, and I just hope to be, you know, like held to that high standard too, and that I can, you know, come out on top. I really love doing this. I love being able to take people's ideas or like their meaning of what they want, or the memorial that they want to get done, and just like being able to make that happen for them. It's really sometimes an emotional experience, you know, and sometimes it's a spiritual thing. So it's just like kind of reminds me of the days of medicine men, and you know, like they're giving these tattoos as like a form of like medicine, or like religious purposes sometimes even. And I feel like sometimes like we still do these tattoos for the same reasons that probably we did like 1,000 years ago, you know. So nothing's really changed with this. It's just become as accepted as it should be now. And now people are able to not just get tattoos, but turn these tattoos into what's really considered art now. We'll come back in here and I'll wrap it up for you. Give you some instructions how to take care of it, and some written instructions. Alright everyone, that was it. So thank you for joining me on another tattoo. I really appreciate all the views, all the shares, all the comments. Please leave your opinion in the comment section below, and feel free to, you know, share with your friends and stuff. It really helps me out when you do that. I really enjoy these kind of tattoos too. If you're interested in getting something like this, if you want to get an animal portrait or some watercolor, you just want to let me go crazy and do my thing, message me or send me a text message at 209-300-9334, and we could set up an in-person consultation so we could talk one-on-one about your idea, and then we'll go from there. Thank you.